Hamas, formerly the Islamic Resistance Movement, was founded in December 1987 during the First Intifada by Sheikh Ahmed Yassin and others from the local Muslim Brotherhood. Initially focused on social services, schools, clinics, and charities, it soon evolved into a political and military force. In this video, we'll lay out the family and leadership tree of its key figures, starting with the founding generation and tracing how roles passed down or branched out into political and military wings. To understand Hamas's lineage and organizational evolution, we must begin with Sheikh Ahmed Yassin, the movement's spiritual architect and one of its founding figures. Widely recognized across Palestinian politics and honored as a leading imam, Yassin is regarded as the central founder of Hamas. He became quadriplegic at around age 12 following a sports-related neck injury while wrestling, which resulted in paralysis of both arms and legs and significant vision loss. Thereafter, he relied on a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Despite his physical limitations, Yassin played a direct and active role in founding Hamas in December 1987 in the aftermath of the First Intifada. Even confined to his chair, he remained at the forefront of every front, opposing Israel's presence and rallying public support. In March 2004, Sheikh Ahmed Yassin was assassinated in an Israeli airstrike shortly after dawn prayers. His funeral drew an estimated 200,000 mourners, making it one of the largest gatherings seen in Gaza since that period. The day after Sheikh Yassin's assassination, Abdel Aziz alRantisi, his deputy, was swiftly appointed Hamas's new leader. AlRantisi, a respected pediatrician educated at Alexandria University, was instrumental in stabilizing the organization and maintaining morale among Palestinians. He was married to Jamila Abdallah Taha al-Shanti, a fellow educator and later a prominent politician who became Hamas's first female member of its political bureau. Together, they had 6 children, 2 sons, Muhammad and Ahmad, and 4 daughters, Inaz, Samar, Asia, and Asma. Their family faced recurring violence. In June 2003, both AlRantisi and his son Ahmad survived an Israeli airstrike aimed at their vehicle, while his son sustained serious injuries and a bodyguard was killed. Tragically, on April 17, 2004, AlRantisi himself was assassinated. His car struck by missiles from an Israeli Apache helicopter, killing him, Ahmad, and 2 bodyguards. Jamila remained active in Hamas politics for many years, and, in 2006, was elected to the Palestinian Legislative Council. In a tragic echo of her husband's fate, she was killed in October 2023 during an Israeli airstrike on her home, leaving behind their 6 children. Following the martyrdom of Hamas's first 2 founding leaders, Khaled Mashal was appointed as the group's 3rd political bureau chief in 2004. Regarded as the architect of Hamas's political wing, he led the organization to a landmark victory in the 2006 Palestinian elections, securing a majority in the Palestinian Legislative Council and establishing Hamas's governing authority in Gaza. Mashal spent much of his career in exile, first in Kuwait, then Jordan, followed by extended stays in Syria, before settling in Qatar, where he continues to reside. His influence extended through nearly 17 years at the helm, and after stepping down in May 2017, he later returned as acting leader in July and October 2024, following the deaths of Ismael Haneier and Yahya Sinwar. After Khaled Mashal, 2 prominent Hamas figures were serious contenders for leadership. One was Mauza Abu Marzouk, who spent about 14 years in the United States, even securing a U.S. green card, and became known for his extensive fundraising from American and European donors. However, the leadership mantle ultimately went to Ismael Haneier, who was unanimously appointed in 2017 as Hamas's 4th political bureau chief, the position he held until his death. A close confidant of Sheikh Ahmed Yassin, Haneier rose rapidly through the ranks, Following Hamas's surprise victory in the 2006 Palestinian elections, he served as Prime Minister of the Palestinian Authority and later as Gaza's de facto leader. He spent nearly 3 years in Gaza leadership before relocating to Qatar in 2019, from where he continued to direct Hamas's political and diplomatic efforts. Tragically, on 31st July 2024, while attending the inauguration of Iran's new president in Tehran, Haneier was assassinated in a highly sophisticated attack, widely attributed to Israeli intelligence, inside a military-run guest house. He was 62 years old, and his death, alongside a bodyguard, marked the highest-profile killing of a Hamas leader to date. His funeral in Tehran on the 1st of August 2024, led by Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, was followed by burial in Qatar on the 2nd of August. A procession attended by senior Hamas officials and international dignitaries. In the sequence of Hamas leadership, attention turned to Salai Alori as a likely successor. He was regarded as one of the movement's most senior and strategic leaders, a founding commander of the Adin AlKasum brigades and, since October 2017, deputy chairman of Hamas's political bureau. Al-Aruri spent approximately 14 years abroad, notably in Syria, Turkey, Qatar, and ultimately Lebanon, where he cultivated close ties with Iran-backed Hezbollah and raised significant funds across Europe and North America. On 2 January 2024, he was assassinated in a drone strike in Beirut's Dahieh suburb, an attack widely attributed to Israel. He was 57 years old and the most senior Hamas official to be killed since the Gaza conflict began in 2023. As of mid-2024, Yahya Sinwar was serving as Hamas's chief in Gaza, overseeing both political governance and the command of its military wing, the Adin AlKasum brigades, making him the principal orchestrator of operations against Israel. Sinwar was known for his effectiveness in uncovering Israeli agents and for enduring over 2 decades in Israeli prisons. However, his leadership ended tragically. On the 16th of October 2024, Sinwar was killed by Israeli forces in a rare encounter during a routine patrol in Rafah, Gaza, when troops unexpectedly engaged a militant cell. His death was later confirmed through DNA and forensic analysis after his body was recovered. His passing removed another key figure from Hamas leadership, creating further uncertainty in the movement's command structure. Following his death, Hamas formed a temporary 5-person leadership committee, based in Doha, to manage operations until a new official appointment before the scheduled March 2025 elections. When discussing Hamas's military capabilities in Gaza, the Adin AlKasum brigades stand out as the Gaza Strip's largest and most sophisticated armed group, officially founded around 1991 to 1992. Named after Sheikh Adin AlKasum, a Syrian-Palestinian cleric who resisted British colonial rule and Zionist immigration, the brigades honor his legacy. Qassem led anti-British guerrilla bands in the 1920s to 30s, notably founding the Black Hand Group, and was killed by British forces in 1935. Thus, it's accurate to say that Hamas's spiritual roots trace back to Adin AlKasum, whose anti-colonial struggle set the ideological foundation for later Palestinian armed resistance. To truly understand the roots of Hamas's military strength, we must focus on Yahya Aayash, famously known as the Engineer. He was the movement's first chief bomb maker and one of the original commanders of the Adin AlKasum brigades. Holding a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering from Birzeit University, Aayash earned his nickname through his talent for creating highly effective explosives from simple components. Under Aayash's direction during the early 1990s, Hamas developed bombs that were notably powerful, innovative, and tactically effective against Israeli military and civilian targets. His designs were so influential that Hamas's first rocket was later named the Aayash 250 in his honor, and many streets and public spaces in Gaza pay tribute to him today. On January 5, 1996, Aayash was assassinated by Israel's Shin Bet using a cleverly rigged cell phone bomb, detonated while speaking to his father, a high-precision operation carried out during his weekly call. His death prompted a surge in retaliatory attacks during the following weeks. Following Yahya Aayash's death, Salah Shahhade assumed command of the Adin AlKasum brigades. Under his leadership, Hamas significantly advanced its military capabilities, most notably by developing longer-range Qassam rockets. Shahhade appointed his close associate, Adin al-Ghul, to lead the brigade's rocket development program. Al-Ghul had previously learned under Aayash, and he, along with Nidal Farahat and Tito Massoud, successfully built the first Qassam rocket prototype in 2001. That innovation earned al-Ghul the title Father of the Qassam Rocket. Today, Qassam rockets remain a core element of Hamas's military arsenal, viewed by many as a defining symbol of its resistance strategy. Under Salah Shahhade's leadership of the Adin AlKasum brigades came another significant figure, Ahmed Jabari, also known as the General in Gaza. Jabari served as second-in-command and gained prominence for his strategic and operational influence on Hamas's military wing. Jabari is notably credited with orchestrating the June 2006 cross-border raid that resulted in the capture of Israeli soldier Gilad Shalit. His leadership in that event was a turning point. It prompted Israel to agree to swap 1,027 Palestinian prisoners, including several high-profile figures, for Shalit's release in October 2011. Earlier, in July 2002, an Israeli F-16 strike destroyed Shahhade's home in Gaza, leveling it along with 7 neighboring houses. Tragically, 15 Palestinians, including Shahhade's family members and civilians, were killed in the attack. When Yahya Sinwar died in October 2024, Mohammed Deif was appointed the new supreme commander of the Adin AlKasum brigades. Known as the Guest, Deif had spent much of his life on the run, earning his nickname from this elusive lifestyle. Since 1995, Deif had topped Israel's most wanted list and survived at least 7 assassination attempts, until an Israeli airstrike on July 13, 2024, in Khan Yunis killed not only him, but also Deputy Rafa Salama, among others. The Israeli military later confirmed his death on August 1, 2024, while Hamas initially denied it before formally acknowledging it in January 2025. Under Deif's leadership, Hamas greatly enhanced its military tactics, including rocket fire and tunnel warfare, making his strategies central to the October 7, 2023 attacks. His confirmation of death marked a massive loss for Hamas's military operations. Inside Deif's command, 2 key figures emerged. First one was Abu Ubaida, the brigade's spokesperson since 2007, known for his masked identity and powerful media presence. Insiders believe his real name is Hudayfa Samir Abdallah al-Kahlut. In April 2024, the U.S. Treasury sanctioned him under that identity. The second was Marwan Issa, Deif's deputy, and widely considered the next prospective commander. In March 2024, Issa was confirmed killed in an Israeli airstrike in Nuseirat, a significant blow to the brigade's deputy leadership. As of May 13, 2025, Hamas named Adin AlHadadad, a veteran operative involved in the October 7, 2023 attack and hostage operations, as the new commander of the Gaza Strip and the AlKasum brigades. Nicknamed Ghost of AlKasum, he's survived multiple Israeli strikes and is now one of Israel's top targets, with a £750,000 bounty placed on him. Under his leadership, Hamas continues to replenish forces despite losses and resource shortages, creating weapons from debris and maintaining tunnels. Following the assassination of Ismael Haneier in Tehran, Hamas has been governed by a 5-person interim leadership committee based in Doha. This structure gained further importance after the death of Yahya Sinwar in October, serving as the movement's executive authority during wartime. The core members include Khaled Mashal, who serves as Deputy Political Bureau Chief and Interim Gaza Leader, responsible for political and foreign relations; Muhammad Ismail Darwish, the chairman of Hamas's Shura Council and interim head of the Political Bureau; Zaher Jabarin, heading the Political Bureau for the West Bank; Khaled Mashal, the veteran former Political Bureau Chief, who represents the Palestinian diaspora; and a 5th unnamed Political Bureau Secretary, whose identity is kept confidential for security reasons. The movement has consistently adapted to leadership losses, moving from centralized figures to interim committees and global diaspora influence. Please feel free to share your thoughts and feedback in the comments. Thank you so much for watching.